Guys, Bryan DeLauney here. Zoomed in on the guitar. We're going to look at the fretboard and kind of visualize it a little bit. There's a little bit of glare. There's a window right there, so I'm going to try to lean forward and back and do whatever I can to try to get that glare off. Alright, so let's just look at the key of G, D, and C. That's what the ones I play in the most. And I'll float between them, and sometimes F in here and there, just to try to make things fun, to play out of modes. So we got D major. Okay. So with that, we've got a D. We've got this G. I'm sorry, the G's here. Then we got an A. We've got the B minor. Then E minor, which is the 2 chord in D. So we got you see how that worked? So what I did was E minor, D, A. B minor right there. So it's just like you're playing your chords. You know there's a B minor there. So a lot of times when I'm playing there, I don't do a lot of scales all the time. So I'll work through scales and then work the scales into those patterns that are right there. So you can look at the neck as a group of patterns. You know your D. If you don't know how to do it, you just go D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D. And the same thing would work as if you did a C pattern, C, D, and on up. Same thing would work if you did an A pattern, A minor pattern, this E, F, G, A, B. So if I was playing B minor, we know it's right here. Someone's playing like a... And all I did was I looked at the chords that were around it, and I played out of those arpeggios, and I mixed a little scale movement in there, and just blended it together and tried to get melody. The idea that we're trying to work for is a melody. We're not trying to impress anybody in the world. When I play, the only thing I'm wanting to do is to make a pleasing sound and something that I hear in my head and in my heart, and bring it out into this piece of wood. This thing's not alive, so I have to use me to put it into here. And that takes some thought and some feeling. So when I spend a lot of time just looking at chords, and I play out of those. I play out of chord bases. So if I'm down here, C, G kind of idea. I do a lot of suspended seconds. E minor. Okay, a lot of people played Metallica. It's just an E minor. Go to an A minor. There's a G, A minor, B minor, C, D minor. If we're in G, it's D, E. So if we got an E minor, alright, see I made a mistake in there. Everybody makes mistakes. So visualizing the chords, where they are on here, like you should start off with the minor position or something, or major, whichever you're more comfortable with, major and minor arpeggios or what have you, or scales, and just move it up. So I'll play like a G major, so right here. I'm doing is I'm going from this G into this G into this G. Which is basically E minor right there. Alright? So if you take your time to pick one chord, or I'll pick two and I'll play out of just two chord progression like this. I'll go like, go from the suspended second, I'm sorry, the C suspended second to the C. And then I'll make a rhythm on that, and I'll try not to be so pentatonic, so C major, and I'll try to do something that's different. Like for a C, I'm going to go, since the C, E, G, I'm going to start on this E minor. So what I'm doing is I'm looking at G, and I know G is GBD. So what I can do is I can either concentrate on the one note of the G, which is, we did just a G, or I can play off of this B, which is here, off of the chord. It'll support the chord, but on the third note. Or you can do it on the D. And I can do that in many different ways. I can either play it using the key of D, or using key of G, because G is in the key of D. That's something that you need to learn. You need to learn what chords are in which keys. And I believe I have a lesson on that. So, like I said, say right here, here's the 12, so I like to try to go somewhere in the middle of my tone to where I can move downward or I can move upward, so I can kind of build off of a center. So I'll start a lot of times in this area. So for instance, we're playing E minor. Here's a pentatonic a lot of people will use, so if you're trying to get out of pentatonic, let me play this pentatonic and show you. So you can see, if you pay attention to a little bit of what I was doing, I was in pentatonic, then I moved into a B minor, E minor, D, G, I think G, A minor, and it's just because I know where the chords lie. So a lot of playing the music or the soloing is based upon the fundamentals, which are chords. So you can go down G, A, B, and memorize where these are. Like if you do them in the E shape, or in an A-type shape, A minor, A major shape, or if you do them in a G-type shape, or however you want to memorize it or whatever. But use that as your basis of soloing. Don't sit there and try to say, okay, this major scale, it's just too difficult. It's easier to see. This is an E. How do you make an E minor chord? All right. Because there's an E minor right there, and here, and here. So the basis of this is just look at the fretboard. Try to figure out what you want to do, what sounds you want, and you experiment with chords on top of other chords. Like try G, and then play a D on it. And that'll open you up to many doors. Visualize with chords, and then try to use chords on different chords, ones that are in the key. So if you're in the key of G, try to do chords that are built on that chord. So for instance, if you're playing a C major and you're in the key of D, you got Ceg, you're going to try playing the G major on top of the C, try playing the E minor on top of C, and of course the C major. And then trying to blend them together and use notes from each one, jumping from one to the other. For instance, like mix it up, have fun.